Hi, welcome back to the channel and to what has become my Lotus Esprit diary. This in that case would be episode 6, and it's me trying to do all the different things to this Lotus Esprit that need doing, all the things that I think need doing anyway. I bought it a couple of months ago and it's quite a to-do list already. So I've been doing a bit of trim work this week, so I'll take you through what I've been doing. There's still more to do, and the trouble is that I can't do it all in one go. I want to keep using the car whilst I'm doing all these things to it, so I don't want to take it off the road for any length of time while I get things done. Now, one of the interior jobs I'd like to do, or want to get a start on, is replacing the headlining, or maybe not the headlining itself, that might come later, but the material that coats the header rail here and around the clock, which is rather sort of disintegrating in places, particularly as you can see in the sunlight on the front, and the cant rail down the sides, two cant rails down the side. So they're very easy to get off. In fact, all these pieces are quite easy to get off. I'm sure that recovering them won't be quite so easy, particularly where there's stitching involved here around the clock. Now, removing the cant rails, very straightforward. You can just about make out here. You've got a screw there and another one there. That's all it is, just taking those two screws out and it will release the cant rail from the inside. So I've got two of those to do, and I'll be able to get them out and get them on the bench. So here are the two cant rails out on the bench. You can see not in the best of conditions, quite dirty, and in fact on these ones coming away, and if you flip them over, actually it's possible to see that not only is the current covering failing, but there was a covering underneath as well. So these have actually been recovered once already. So I will basically have to get off those two coverings, get rid of all the kind of detritus and rubbish underneath, and recover them. So that's one layer of covering taken off. So all this brown stuff is actually the foam backing of the second layer, the most recent layer, that's just disintegrated. So I'm imagining there'll be something similar underneath here. But yeah, I'll just get the first layer off. Maybe that's the factory layer, I don't know, and then see where we get to. So what's interesting to see is on this surface there's no adhesive. So this is probably, I'm guessing, the factory fit layer. There's no adhesive on this side, which is good because that's sort of the side that would be shown. So it's all tucked over and glued onto the back side of the cant rail, which is what I'll endeavour to do when I fit the replacement fabric. So this is the hardest bit here, is just getting these last remnants off the end of this one. There's also a little bit stuck under the bracket. I'm not entirely sure how they got that back on. I think that's riveted, but it looks like maybe they just prized it off the rivet and just forced it back on again. And then I shall give this a sand down to stop it, to take off all the old rubbish and the old glue. So I've got all of the old coverings off, nice and smooth on that side, which is the important side. This side I've just I've sanded off the sort of worst of the adhesive left over, but I think that's enough. It's got a good sort of solid surface and key for the contact adhesive that's going to go on. So the next thing I need to do is to go and cut some of the headlining. So this is material for the headlining. See, it's sort of that's the proper face, that's the beige colour, and then there's a sort of a, see a bit closer, there's a foam backing on the end. So I've actually got absolute ton of this stuff, probably way more than I would need. Anyway, what I've just done there is just cut it out roughly. So I'll just turn it up the other way. You can see that's plenty of room, plenty of material for each of the cant rails. I've got two of those, and so what I shall do is I'll just cut it a bit closer, so there's enough just to sort of tuck over each edge on each side, and then I can put the first bit of glue on and start getting it attached. Good side, face side down, and the cant rail, the appropriate cant rail, and I've got this glue, which is a contact adhesive. Now I'm going to use this plastic fork as a spreader, and what I'm going to do, just going to put glue on one side to start with, just along there. It says you wait for the kind of the solvents to sort of evaporate off first, and then it becomes sort of touch dry, and then you can push the material onto it. So just going to try it. I've got plenty of this material. If it all goes wrong, I'll give it a go. I'll get that side done, and then I can put some on the other edge and see how that goes. Now on the data sheet for this adhesive, it says to leave it till the solvent smell goes. What it doesn't say is how long it will take. It says it will vary depending on conditions, how much glue you've used, whatever. I've just left it. I've gone and made a cup of tea and drunk it. I don't know, maybe what, 10 minutes, but I'll give it a go now and see if it will take. It's not exactly a straight line across the edge, so just having to kind of curl it round to fold it over. I can get a neat edge on one side and then leave that to dry, and then wait for the other, and then do the other side. That looks okay. What I might try and do is just see if I can just weight that down with a few bits and pieces. Okay, so I'll leave that for a couple of hours and see what happens, and then try the other side. So I've now put some adhesive on the other side, and just waiting for that to dry or to go off a little bit. I've cut out a couple of little notches so that it will go either side of the brackets. Yeah, back in about 10 minutes. So I've just pushed over the other side and pushed that down. It's not quite dry, but that's not bad going. That's pretty good. Finished effect. Obviously I've still got the ends to do, but I think that looks pretty reasonable. let that dry off a bit, and then come back and tuck the ends in and do a bit of cutting to make them neat and tidy. Okay, well I've managed to stick it down both sides, and at the ends still a little bit wet there, still drying at either end. But if you flick it over, now I don't know about you, but I think that looks very good. Very impressed with that, very pleased with myself. So that will go back on the car as soon as I've done the other one. So I've got the A-post cover on the driver's side off at the moment, so you can see what's beneath it. Nothing much really. And also there underneath where the cant rail goes, I'm just about to put that one up. So you can see actually the head lining does need to come off, and of course this header rail. I've just taken it off, and just to see what I need to do, because of all the stitching, that makes it slightly more sort of difficult than just gluing on another piece. But that'll be part 2, and maybe also part 2 I'll try and do what's left of the head lining around the sunroof. So that's the passenger side cant rail put up, finished and covered, and there's the one for the driver's side I'll put back. Now the reason why I'm not doing all this in one go, which would have been ideal, take it all out, do the head lining, do the header rail, cant rails, and then the A-pillars all together. So I'm trying to do this while still using the car for different events. Still lots to do, so join me again in episode 7, whenever that might be. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, send me a comment, ask me a question, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me how I could do things better, and don't forget also to subscribe to see more of the same. See you next time. Thanks, bye bye.